this is Brookings Rail Watch, and today I have a very big rail expedition. This summer my family visited the Pacific Northwest for 2 weeks, where I saw a large variety of railroad action. In our trip, we fly to Seattle, then drive down to Portland. After that we go to Eugene, Oregon. We then take Highway 101 up the coast of both Oregon and Washington until we stop in Port Angeles, and finally we go back to Seattle and leave. In typical YouTube travel video fashion, here's the airport, and the takeoff, getting higher, random clouds, I see the city, now we've landed. Our plan is to go straight to Portland on the first day, so down I-5 we go. Our first stop is in Kamala, Washington, at BNSF's Kamala Yard. There's quite a few engines from BNSF and Union Pacific here, as well as some other interesting foreign power. This is a good place to stop if you're passing through the area. It's very accommodating to rail fans, being that it's easily accessible and even has a viewing platform. So anyway, Portland. It has a bunch of massive yards all over the place, including the BNSF Lake Yard, which is right next to my hotel. Several Amtrak trains pass through Portland every day, so I decided to check out the Union Station. Unfortunately, this is one of those stations that doesn't let you go on the platform unless you actually intend on taking one of the trains. One of the Cascade trains was idling there, and it did not leave. Cascades number 508 arrived at 7:02 p.m., and I caught it leaving northbound at 7:25. The next day we followed down Interstate 84 to see various attractions, and luckily for me the Union Pacific also runs right along this road.
Isn't that cool?
Electric Avenue.
Here's today there's only 2 generators making power. Is that
Geez, I barely made that one. Let's see if there's any DPUs. No DPUs today. Yeah, I saw one earlier with some DPUs, but I was in the car so I couldn't film it. We'll see what that classic EMD is about. Well, I'll have to look this up when I get home, but it looks like either a GP7, 9, or 18. Doesn't have the high hood though. Mount Hood Railroad. Hidden behind this classic looking caboose we have it looks like a CF7 from the Santa Fe days. No idea what that reporting mark is, although it's probably related. Oh, look at this pile. And there's some more coaches down there, and that looks to be about it for this yard. Well, if the painting on the locomotive didn't give it away, this is the Mount Hood Railroad. Some sort of tourist railroad. Don't have much information about it, but it's an interesting little thing. We would be riding it, but we looked it up and they're not running a train at a time that we're in this town, so what a shame. But it's nice to see the locomotives anyway. Here's the mountain the railroad's named after. So here I am back in Portland, just on the south side of the BNSF Lake Yard. And we have Amtrak train number 508 again. Does not look like a P42. Must be one of those new Siemens ones. Let's see what it is. Here I am at the lake yard of BNSF, and there's not a whole lot of action like there is at that Union Pacific one on the other side of the river, and it's kind of off, so I'll see what I can see around here. One very important town along the way to Eugene is Albany. Now, if there's one thing everybody and their grandma loves about the Portland Western, it's those classic SD7s and SD9s that they're still running. According to my research, they should be in Albany, and I was correct. There's a DPU. Yeah, now that that CP train is out of here, this one's starting to creep forward. Delay In Block Productions made a very nice video about these engines, and I recommend you check it out if you want more detail. After that fun, we continued to Eugene, where, over the next few days, I saw several trains on the Union Pacific line that was also right next to the hotel. Oh, it looks like it's Amtrak. Must be the Cascades. Time is 8:33 p.m. I'm just up the road a little bit from where I caught the Amtrak. Here comes a Union Pacific train. Well, maybe they're stopping. It is 7:56 p.m. here in Eugene, and I believe this will be another Union Pacific train. Let's see what's here. No DPUs today. Sadly, there wasn't much for trains along the coast. We drove inland a little to Toledo, Oregon. So here I'm at the Yaquina Pacific Railroad, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. And yeah, I just stumbled upon, they've got a whole museum here. Very nice looking place. Take a look inside. Now, I had no idea this was here in Toledo. So here I am in a GE tonner, 50 tonner. I'm more of an EMD guy, so I don't have much to say to that, but we're allowed to sit in here. Oh boy. Oh, engine speed control. Yeah, usually in an EMD it's a lever. And I'm assuming one of these is the independent brake. Probably no dynamic brakes in here. Yeah, so she said they could get it up and running, although they're missing some batteries and something else. But they don't have trackage right, so for all the good that would do. But yeah, here's the inside of a GE tonner. Let's see if I can get into the electrical cabinet. Oh boy. Ooh, look at this. The electrical cabinet of a GE tonner 50 or 50 tonner. Bunch of fuses. It's probably all General Electric systems.
Okay. Woo! So yeah.
Oh
You can see
boy.
they were getting some work done. And then I'm going to squeeze past you and see if I can get the other side open. Now that we know the handle goes sideways.
2, 3, 4. So we got a what looks to be a
If you're getting warm in
an
here, that window-
inline 6 maybe, because I see 6 cylinders here. Of course, I'll probably be throwing more useful information on the screen right now. A bunch of yummy looking oil. And this must be the generator.
Otherwise, there would have been another set of box seats. And do we know what the function of this cupola area was?
Somebody's like a lookout.
Continuing the cosmetic restoration, we've got all this special paint. It's called POR 15, which is paint over rest, which is, you know, lots of that. But, so we're restoring the interior of the cab. We were still missing a lot of the gauges, gauges and all that good stuff. But, yeah, we're gonna paint the boiler. So you notice the grid marks. And the nifty thing about this is that it is not connected to the engine itself. So the engine or the locomotive is still eligible. That's the word. Eligible to get on the National Registry of Historic Places. So yeah, we need to get some love done on that as well. We're hoping to get our stuff
I didn't show everything I saw at the museum, for time's sake, but it was a very good tour. I was given very detailed explanations on the various exhibits, most of which were hands-on. Definitely plan on stopping here if you are in the Toledo, Oregon area. Stumbled upon a GP30. I decided to go back to Albany because I didn't have a whole lot of time last visit to see the rest of the main yard. Number 101, which appears to be a road slug, and 3001. Here I am in Corvallis, Oregon. We saw the number 1 earlier. Here's the number 5. Up the coast, and we stopped at an airplane museum in Tillamook, Oregon. There was a small yard next to it that had some rotting away equipment. There's not much left of this. It's literally sitting on the diesel tank, like all the trucks have been taken off. Engine's long gone. Looks like a GP7 or GP9 or something. Well, let's see what's in one of these cabs. Got all the electrical equipment. Guess that's all greasy oil from where the engine used to be. I've always wondered what's in the nose of a high hood. Well, it's, oh geez, cobwebs. It's electrical equipment. Here we got another GE tonner. Similar to the one I saw yesterday, but looks a little bigger. Well, here's the maker's plate. Just a few miles up the line is the main area for the Oregon Coast Scenic Railroad, where I found an F7A and some other 9 Series road switchers. What I saw earlier in Tillamook is related to this. If you want to know the model numbers of some of the engines seen in this video that I haven't already specified, I do have all of them on my website. In Townsendport, Washington, I found an 80-tonner, as well as some cabooses linked together. I looked it up, and apparently this used to be a burger joint, candy store, and ice cream shop. They sell weed here now. No, I'm not kidding, it's now a cannabis shop. In Port Angeles, there's also a classic steam locomotive in the middle of town, although there are not any active rail lines there anymore. Finally, I make my way back to Seattle. During the last afternoon I spent in the Pacific Northwest, I drove around Tacoma, Washington, looking at various BNSF yards. Whoa. Look at that 567 go.
See one of those go?
Not like that.
Is that like an older one or is it?
Yeah. What a busy yard. Looks like a GP60M.
Man, this yard keeps on giving interesting locomotives. Here I got two Tacoma Rail, I'm guessing SD70 ACEs or a similar variant.
Anyway, that's finally it for this rather long rail expedition program, so I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one.